Hello, welcome to this video. My name is Eva, and in this video I talk about strategies to get out of a quarter-life crisis. So first of all, what is a quarter-life crisis? A quarter-life crisis is kind of this time in your mid-20s, but also some people can have it earlier or in their early 30s, where it's kind of like you're out of, maybe you have studied or you have worked a certain job, and then at some point you realize this is not really working for me. This is not really what I expected or what I wanted from my life in a way. So you're starting to question, is this really me? Did I fulfill maybe my parents' expectation or society's expectation? And you start to question, who am I really and what do I want? And I mean, this doesn't happen for everyone. It happens to a lot of people, but maybe not to everyone. There's also some people who then later have a midlife crisis, which is in usually their late 30s or 40s, where they also have those types of questions. Is the life that I'm leading actually good for me? Is it authentic to me? And for me, it happened the same. Like, I had those kind of quarter life crisis, and I think I still have it to a certain extent, but I'm for sure much better now. But I had it specifically in terms of career, because I was studying and I was kind of doing what I was supposed to do, like going to school, being good in school, and then studying. And then I was in a job and I was like, I don't know, it's like I was still questioning a lot, like, should I maybe travel more? Should I do a different career? So a lot of question marks in my head, and that led to me just being very overwhelmed and being a little bit scared of the future and being scared that I might have to work my whole life a job that I don't like. So just a lot of uncertainty, also scared. And also maybe for me specifically, because my parents are already older, so probably I just had to face certain things that probably most people face in their 30s. So and I had, because of that, I probably had the feeling, or have the feeling, that I don't have, I was always in a rush. Like, I have to get this done because my parents, they're already older. So I was just feeling a lot of pressure. So that all, I think, contributed to me being overwhelmed, and being kind of scared of the future, of choosing one thing and it turns out to be the wrong thing. So I think for me this time was marked by blockages, like blocks. I was just in a rut, so I was kind of blocked. So now I want to share with you some things and some strategies that really, really helped me, and you can just pick and choose maybe what works for you. Some things might not work for you, other things yes, so kind of pick and choose. I think for me the best thing that I've done was to start therapy, because I did have some trauma, like most people have, and it was really keeping me stuck in certain ways. And so yeah, just starting trauma therapy or therapy in general, like, that was so helpful. And therapy in a way for me was also a process to get to know myself, like, who am I, and also to learn to separate certain expectations from my family or maybe society, and really get to know what is important for me in a way. So that was very important. And over time with therapy I had some mindset shifts. So the first one, because I think before that I was still a little bit thinking there's something wrong with me, so I need to change myself. But over the period of time with therapy, I learned more and more that there's not something fundamentally wrong with me. I just have to change, of course, heal certain things, and each person is flawed because we're humans, etc. But still, it's really important to focus on creating an environment that works more for yourself. So, for example, if you're in a job and you feel like this is not right for me, I feel stuck, I don't like this job, it's important to maybe get a career coach or whatever it is and shift to a different position or a different career or a different job that just supports your gifts more, that fits you better. So that was important. I don't need to hate or change myself on a deep fundamental level. I need to create an environment that works better for me. And in terms of relationships, I need to create an environment with people that are close to me, that are supportive, loving, caring, and uplifting. And another mindset shift that I could do was self-acceptance. So learning about myself, accepting myself. For me, it really helped a lot, this Myers-Briggs personality types, but I also did like different learning about myself, doing different kind of, there's also human design for some people that works, or yeah, different tests, kind of different personality categorization in a way. And for me that helped a lot, especially this like Myers-Briggs personality types. I'm the protagonist, and to really get to know myself, what are my weaknesses, what are my strengths. That helped so much, just to get some clarity, because I think for me this quarter life crisis, it was marked by uncertainty, but the more information I gained, the less uncertain it become, because then I did a lot of tests of like getting to know myself, and the more I got to know myself, the easier it was to find jobs, or that work more for me. So getting to know myself was so important. Then also letting go of external validation and worth ties. So because before that I was kind of seeking a lot the validation, for example, from my dad. And in this therapy process, I was allowing myself to more and more let go of that validation, and that helped a lot. And also worth ties. I think for me, my worth, I connected it to my productivity. I connected it to the work that I did, and in the therapy process, I was able, or I mean, I'm still in the process of basing the worth not on external things, like not on the work that I do, but see my worth as a person that is already innate within me. So that helped a lot. Because if you base your worth on your job or on external factors, it can be so easily shaken. Like if you lose your job, or if something doesn't work correctly in a job, it's so easily, there's no foundation, so it can easily just fall down. So it's really important, for me it was really important to understand that I have innate worth. And then also kind of acceptance. So for me, acceptance that this quarter life crisis is something normal that most people have, like this kind of transition phase between being a teenager or being in certain structures, and then this transition phase into adulthood of being your own, I don't know, like of leading a life that is authentic to yourself, making your own decisions when it comes to where you want to live, what you want to work, how you want to, like, what boundaries are good for you, what boundaries are not good for you. So kind of this stepping into empowerment as an adult, basically this transition phase. And that it's normal to for most people to have a little bit like this transition phase, to have also these fears, like this midlife crisis. It's called midlife crisis, but in reality it's just a natural phenomena that happens to many people as they discover themselves, and they discover what is important for me and how do I want to live my life, and also kind of inexperience, especially when it comes to, for example, relationships or careers, that you don't know what you don't know, basically. So for me, what I've later learned, like, or in the last kind of month learned, is that this crisis, it's really not a crisis. It's really just a great opportunity to get to know yourself and create a more authentic life for yourself. So also what I've learned, which was so helpful, that like this chaos that you feel, maybe emotional chaos because you're so overwhelmed and so scared, it's really just a necessary step towards a life that works better for you. Because for me, that's something that I've learned, that in order to create positive change, very often the thing that was there before has to kind of be broken down in some ways. So, and that feels like chaos, because you let go of certain people or structures or beliefs, and that feels scary. And so but before you can create that positive change, you have to go through that kind of uncertainty, but it will be worth it, because on the other side is just a life that is more authentic to yourself and brings you more joy and less burnout and just feels lighter. So that was really helpful for me to switch the belief and say, okay, it's not a crisis, it's just kind of a stage in my life of transition, and an opportunity to get to know myself and create a better life for myself. So that was really helpful. Also, self-empowerment, that's something that, yeah, I'm still doing, because I think just the way that I was raised also, and the structures that I grew up with, in. I put adults on a pedestal, and I was like, oh, they have it all figured out. And then specifically in the last year, I got to understand that not everyone has it figured out first. Also, it's not the goal to have it all figured out. Like, life is also about learning and changing and experiences, and and it's also not about putting certain people on a pedestal, because in the end we are all just humans, trying to figure it out. And of course, some people, they excel in certain areas and we can learn from them, but we don't need to put them on a pedestal in a way and devalue ourselves. And that's something that I've did, but I'm learning from that too, because yeah, each person is just a normal human being also. Also, what I've learned is having patience, and because like this is not something that happens from today to tomorrow. It's really a process, but also having trust in the process, that it is getting better and it's just a transition phase, but it will not last forever. That was really helpful for me. And also what really helped me as a um specific step was also to not take myself so seriously, because I think I have a little bit that perfectionism, that I have this desire, I want to work it out right now. But life is not that like that, and it's okay if you have maybe some years where it's not like perfect, quote unquote. And that's also a normal part of life, like the struggle phase. It's always like the cycle in life of being born, and then being like, and then you need to kind of have this destruction phase where you're kind of have a burnout or whatever, or a certain tragic event in your life. So, and then you kind of die in the process of learning and growing, and then you're reborn again with a new better version of yourself. And that's just, yeah, to just trust that whole process. I mean, it's probably very spiritual, but that helped me a lot to have trust in that. And also, specific steps that helped me so much was to create space for my family. Actually, it sounds dramatic, but that helped me a lot, because they just have their expectations, and they don't see me, so I cannot fulfill their expectations. So it was just a necessary step to create a certain distance just for this time period, in order to really let go of their expectations, so that I can actually get to know myself, who am I apart from their expectations. So physical distance was very, very helpful in that. And but this is not the case for everyone, but for me certainly it was. Also, for me, what was helpful was to read about the midlife crisis, so read books about it. And I also read career books, and that helped me so much, because the more I read about careers, the more knowledge I could gain, and the easier it was for me, because I also had like this belief, oh my god, I will be stuck in a job for 50 years that I don't like. And that, of course, this belief makes no sense, because you can change, you can save money, and then you can have enough money to make a career change. But I just had this belief. So for me, reading about it and also being in contact with a career coach, etc., it really, I could open my mind a lot, and that helped so much. So yeah, and the last one, also not just reading about it and have that theory, but also practical experience. So work experience was helpful, dabbling in different jobs, very helpful, and it's kind of this journey. So to sum it up, it's a very uncomfortable phase. So I understand if you're in this quarter life crisis and you feel like, oh, I don't know, I feel so overwhelmed. But see it as an opportunity, even though it feels not good. See it as an opportunity to create a life that feels more authentic to you, and as an opportunity to get to know yourself as well, and see it as a necessary step towards a better life for yourself. So that was very, very helpful to switch my perspective in that way. And also, once you get out of this quarter life crisis or midlife crisis, you will be so happy that you did all of that, that you were in this like uncertainty, but you still took step by step to get to know yourself, inform yourself, and yeah, your future self will be grateful for you. And remember, it's not going to be forever. It's just a time period in your life, and eventually it will get better. So this was the video for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you have anything, you can send me an email. And so much love to you. Really, it's uncomfortable time, but it will get better the more work you put in. Also, getting to know yourself, doing the steps, kind of. And that was it. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video. You can also check out the link in the description box and see if I offer something. And have a beautiful, wonderful day, and see you soon. Bye bye.